In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a reader avatar for your book so you never have to guess what the reader wants out of the book you're writing. This includes what kind of genre are they interested in, what tropes are their favorites for that genre, what are their expectations, what are some of the things they don't want to see in the book, because all of these are things that readers actually, whether they know it or not, have an expectation for. So we're going to dive straight into that and get into how you can set this up so that you can avoid quite a lot of mistakes that most beginner authors run into. So let's dive in. So for this activity, we're going to actually be using Claude, and specifically Claude Pro, which is the subscription that I have, the $20 tier. You can probably do this on the free tier as well, but you're obviously not going to be able to use the better models for that. And there's a couple of reasons why we're using Claude. Claude is actually really good at the kind of stuff we're looking for this particular activity. You could do this with other chatbots, but they wouldn't be quite as good. So for starters, we're going to come over here to projects, and you'll want to create a new project. I just called it Reader Avatar, as you can see here. If we click on this, and you'll want to put some instructions that go something like this. All right, now I'll pause here so you can pause the video and take a screenshot if you want so that you can transcribe that and use it yourself. But it essentially says you are an expert publisher. Your task is to help an author understand exactly what the target reader is looking for. This primarily has to do with the genre and trope preferences, but should also involve other aspects of determining who your customer avatar is. Start out by asking a few clarifying questions about what the author thinks of their target reader, because a lot of authors have an idea, but it may be inaccurate. Then do some web searches to clarify what that type of reader or aspects of the genre mentioned by the author is like. Present your findings to the author and go back and forth with them a bit until you have a perfect reader avatar that both A, matches what the author wants, expects, and has already determined about the avatar, and B, matches the research that you perform as well. So basically, it's going to be asking you some questions about what you think your reader avatar is like, and it's going to be doing research as well. Now, this is actually easier for authors than for people in other types of businesses, because authors already have a very clear way of determining what their readers want, and that is the genre. Genres and tropes are already sort of divided by reader preferences. So if a reader likes one thing, they'll read that genre, but they won't necessarily like another genre. I hope that makes sense. So now that we've got that instructions in here, you want to come here to the chat, and before you actually get started on the chat, make sure you have a good model that you like. I'm using Sonnet 4.6 with adaptive thinking, so it might think more for certain tasks. And also here on the left, this little plus icon, click on that and make sure web search is enabled, because it will need to do some web search for this process. And so now my recommendation would be to start with a general idea of your genre. So if you have a specific genre that you are looking to write, start with that and put that in there and get your reader avatar. So I would say something like, I want to create an avatar for the ideal reader of, let's just say, mafia romance, since that's a popular one these days in the romance category. All right, great choice. Mafia romance is a hugely passionate readership. Before I dive in, I want to understand that you already know or believe about your ideal reader. Let me start asking you a few questions. All right, so it's going to give us some questions here. How would you describe the typical age range for your target reader? I would say 35 to 50, definitely. Which emotional experience do you think your reader is primarily changing? The dark, dangerous, forbidden thrill, a powerful protector, safe and dangerous arms, enemies to lovers, tension, redemption arc, the villain who loves only her. I mean, I don't know, but I would guess number 2. This may reveal things about myself that I don't want revealed. How dark do you believe your ideal reader wants the content to go? Dark but with limits, pretty dark, morally great characters, very dark. Depends on the subgenre, or I'm not sure. I'm just going to say pretty dark. All right, and from there, it's going to do some thinking. It's going to ask me a few more questions. Where do you think your ideal reader primarily discovers and buys books? 100% Kindle Unlimited. That's no question there. What do you think your reader's reading life looks like? They're absolutely voracious. And this is kind of typical of romance in general. Which of these do you think best describes your reader's day-to-day life? Busy professional reads as an escape from high-stress work. Stay-at-home parent reads during rare quiet moments. Empty nester with more leisure time. Honestly, I feel like it could be any of these, so I'm going to say I honestly don't know. So now it's going to do a search on the web and just to learn more about the mafia romance category and people that read it. All right, so now it's done some searching, and all right, so here's what it's got. Where you're spot on. She's on Kindle Unlimited. She's voracious. She wants to protect her fantasy. I like how it basically just assumed this is a female. Like in one of my tests I did earlier around epic fantasy, it was asking me about like what percentage of male versus female I thought, and like here it's not even asking me that question. It just knows it's all female. Where the research adds nuance on age. Largest demographic is actually 25 to 35. Interesting. Daily life. Many women are in situations where they are always busy and pressured to be perfect and sweet while doing it. Dark romance is a way to escape that cycle. She's overwhelmed. Yeah, I could see some of that. And keep in mind, this is not, we're not talking about every reader of this genre, okay? The whole idea of creating a reader avatar or even just a customer avatar in general for any business is to identify a single person that best represents your target market. Because when you market your books to a single person, that actually tends to bring in more people than if you tried to be everything to everyone, right? Better to niche down, create an avatar that kind of represents your ideal reader and a single person, right? So, all right, top tropes. We have like arranged forced marriages, possessive or jealous MMC, that's a male main character, age gap, enemies to lovers, innocence meets darkness, happily ever after is non-negotiable. That's true of pretty much every fantasy genre or romance genre, excuse me. If it doesn't have a happily ever after, it's usually not a straight up romance book. It might be like a women's fiction or something totally different. Draft reader avatar. So it gave me a few things about that. Now I want to pressure test this with you before we finalize it. Take your time with these so I can now say, okay, yeah, that feels right for age. Research paints her as a busy, overwhelmed woman using books as her escape valve. Does that match the reader you're writing for? Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't see a reason to go against that. Yeah, happily ever after is absolutely non-negotiable. So now it's doing a little bit more research. Now it's asking me a few more things. What kind of heroine does a reader most want to follow? I'd say they don't want an innocent or naive woman, but they also don't want someone who's openly defiant, I wouldn't say. I think the quietly strong with the spine of steel hidden under a soft exterior is probably what we're looking for. Someone that kind of starts out of her depth, but by the end of the book is like, has that spine of steel. All right. What's the flavor of your mafia world? This shapes the fantasy the reader is buying into. So yeah, we could do Italian, Russian Bratva. I've seen a lot of Bratva ones on Amazon, so I'm gonna select that one. Why am I looking through mafia romance? It's part of my research for some of the genre guides that I'm creating, and this is kind of a byproduct of that. Perfect. I now have everything needed to build a complete research-backed avatar. Let me pull it all together. So now it's going to create your avatar. Dangerous Devotion Danny. You're the ideal reader for your Russian Bratva romance. Okay, so we have the age range, gender is like 99% female. Yep, I believe that. Income, middle, upper, middle. Primary platform, Kindle Unlimited. Yeah, that's 100% going to be the case. I guarantee it. Reading pace, 3 to 5 books a week. Yeah, these people are voracious. They will get through these things fast. This is why I don't buy the whole thing about flooding the market. Because if there are, first of all, flooding the market with bad books does nothing because only the good ones really surface. And even if there is an influx of good books in a genre, these people are reading 3 to 5 books a week in some genres. So reading window late night, post 10 p.m. Okay. Danny is a busy woman working professional, parent, or both, who holds her life together with visible competence and invisible effort. Her days are full of obligations, decisions, and the pressure to always be composed, capable, and kind. Reading is not a hobby, it is her decompression ritual. After 10 p.m., when the house is quiet, she opens her Kindle and enters a world where she doesn't have to be in charge of anything. She is in a stable, ordinary relationship in real life, and that stability is exactly what gives her the freedom to enjoy fictional danger without fear. I don't know if that's going to be super, like, if that's going to be the case all the time. I imagine there are a lot of people that read these kind of genres that are not in stable relationships, and that the book kind of acts as a sort of proxy wish fulfillment. But again, we're not trying to be everything to everyone here. We're just picking a single ideal avatar. But this might be something I would change if I had done a little bit more research into the genre and the readers of it myself. But who knows? What she's really chasing is the core fantasy, the secondary payoff, her heroine expectations. Danny wants to be the heroine, so it must feel aspirational but recognizable. Yep. Here are some of the tropes. The must-have are the ones. This is why I chose Claude to do this instead of any of the others, because lately Claude's been doing all of these like different ways of formatting that look really cool. So now this, you can't really see it that well, but you can see this is like slightly purple. These are the core tropes, the must-haves, and the pink ones are the bonus ones, the loves. So the core ones would be like a forced or arranged marriage, possessive male main character, happily ever after, ice to fire arc, morally gray hero, protective obsession. I would add touch her and die to that from what I've researched, which is a fun one. And then bonuses are age gap, enemies to lovers. Enemies to lovers is almost a given, but not necessarily a requirement. Dubcon, handleable care, forbidden worlds apart, slow burn tension, jealousy scenes, savage to all, soft for her. And then here's a bit about the Russian Bratva specifically. And what will make her 1-star your book? This is, I think, really important. I've got this with my other tests as well. This is the stuff you do not want to have in your book, or it will lead to problems. You'll get a lot of bad reviews, like no happily ever after or an ambiguous ending. Romance readers generally hate that. Cheating, the male main character especially. A hero who feels genuinely cruel, a weak being passive heroine, cliffhanger with no resolution. In my research that I've been doing lately, I see a lot of romance books actually put in the book description saying this book has no cliffhanger. So I guess romance writers really don't want cliffhangers. And then dark themes without emotional payoff. All right. How she discovers and talks about the books. The one sentence pitch to her: he destroys everything he touches except her. She's the one thing the Bratva's most feared man refuses to let go. Sounds like a good pitch to me. And that's it. So now you've got this pretty awesome reader avatar, and you can maybe take it a little bit further if you want. But I actually think this is a fantastic way to not only understand your reader, but to understand your genre and the tropes that people are expecting. So I strongly recommend a technique like this if you're interested. And yeah, so we'll take it from there. So if you like this, I would invite you to check out my story group called Story Hacker AI here on School. And this group is fantastic. We just wrapped up doing a book in the month challenge where a lot of people actually finished their book in a month. And it was, we're talking actual quality books that match their vision without all the burnout. And if you want to learn how you can leverage AI to do that and actually, make sure that it's yours and doesn't compromise your creativity or your ethics, be sure to check that out at the link down below. You'll get all this stuff here in the classroom that you can see here. And there's just a whole lot in here, including the tool that I am working on. Members here get early access to that tool. So go check that out, and I'll see you in the next video.